our guest for the day, our expert for the day formally. Will you please introduce yourself to our group today? Tell us your tenure at EPAM. Tell us how long have you been associated with the Grow to Lead and many more things. We are eager to know.
Absolutely. So thank you for inviting me to the session. I'm really enjoyed to join you and to have some discussions with you and probably to share some experience of mine that could be beneficial from you. So a couple of words about myself. So I'm with EPAM. I'm about a year, but I'm not new to the IT and to software development industry. Being here for 20 plus years in consulting, in industry, from different sides. And I was working mostly internationally, and also I have some entrepreneurship experience. So from the technical perspective, I'm having quite a big bunch of certificates. So I'm like top 10 within EPAM, and the most certified delivery manager within EPAM. And so I'm specializing actually in managing big projects with diverse teams and coaching these teams, and so also small ones. And I worked my path from developer to team lead to head of delivery a couple of times in my career actually. So it was like a couple of times of such kind of experience. And so what I enjoy is coaching. I'm a certified ICF coach. I'm doing mentoring in EPAM as well. So this part of the job I love most. So hopefully it will be also beneficial for you to share something from my experience. Yeah. So I'm passionate to contribute.
Lovely. Just one question before we go forward. So you are a technical person. That's what I understand from the slide. But then what encouraged you to pursue ICF certificate?
I'm not only a technical person, I'm also passionate about learning and development. And even within my career, I was wearing a hat of HR director, leading L&D initiatives. And I even have some certifications within HR discipline, like people analytics and also talent acquisition. So learning and development is also my passion, and I contribute actively to that. For instance, I'm acting as a trainer for our EPAM leading multicultural teams training. So I'm really passionate about all the learning and development activities, and I truly believe that lifelong learning is something that is very beneficial to any individual.
Wonderful, wonderful. I will second that. Thank you. So we have a mentee today. I'm going to share this link in the chat box. You can access the presentation on this one. Otherwise, you have to go to your browser, type menti.com and enter the code you see on the screen, 95660041. Uh-oh. Okay. Just let me know if you're not able to access Menti. Here we go. How do you feel today? Okay. Oh, wow. So the circle is motivating me as well. A lot of people are feeling great. A lot of people are excited, and you're all ready to rock. Lovely. So there's one person who's just not too bad. Can you tell us? Is there some way we can help you? Or is this question too direct? All right. There's one more person who joined your club. Right. So to do a little bit of brainstorming here, to do a little bit of understanding better, typically on a typical work day, what causes you to just feel great and what causes you to feel not bad? What are some things that keep you motivated and what demotivate you? Can I get some verbal responses?
I think when we have clear agenda of what we have to do for the day, and we have uh, like we're working collaboratively with the team. And when we're stuck, we're able to discuss our issue, and people are there to listen to us and
Wow.
provide support. I think that
Right.
makes a great day,
So
and we are able to
collaboration.
contribute.
Awesome. Collaboration and your own ability to contribute keeps you motivated. Wow. Great start. Great start. So the reason for asking this question is it might be the same thing for our teams as well. So we're just trying to reflect upon what makes us feel good so we can treat the people with us who are with us in the same way. So waiting for more responses. What keeps you excited? What makes you feel demotivated? More responses.
Hey Madhuri, Santosh here.
Santosh, yes.
Yeah. So for me, when I have any challenging kind of work or any new thing that I make, then I'll feel great on the day. If the day is normal, I'll feel okay. So I don't
Okay.
want things to be normal every time. There should be something new
Wonderful.
or something challenging going on with me, or at least something that I can do extra delta work. That makes me happy.
Wonderful. This is a Bollywood response, Santosh. You know, for the expert, let me clarify. Bollywood is a filmy response. You know, something not normal. How many of you want to agree, disagree with Santosh? No, we just want normal days. We don't want any sudden surprises. Anybody? Oh, so everybody's agreeing with Santosh.
I echo with Santosh, Madhuri.
Oh, very good.
Really, the
Yeah.
normal things, our brain is habituated to work, so it goes on that. Actually, our brain works when which is not a normal. So our creativity will actually pitch in there. So yeah, it
Right.
makes us excited.
Nice. Interesting. Something to
Yeah.
learn from, something to probably feel guilty about. I think I like normal days. Anyway, anybody else want to share something here?
Yeah, sure, Madhuri. Actually, there are a couple of factors for me. So if I had a long day, the previous day is very long and tiring. Obviously, I won't feel that motivated to work. And if it's the day, if I have like an early call, so that day also gets like a very slow start. And yeah, if it's a Friday, definitely a very good one.
These days, Fridays are horrible. So when it was a 6-day working week, Fridays were still good. But now I think, yeah, everybody hates Fridays. Anyway, yeah, so I'm taking your response. So it is a slow start and a day that is well managed, keeps you motivated. All right, going forward, so we're going to understand team dynamics a little bit here. And let me invite Dimitri to add something here. Would you like to tell us something about what keeps people motivated, what demotivates, and how to manage those little things, the little risks, which try sometimes to demotivate us? Are you with us?
Absolutely.
Oh,
So
yeah.
maybe just to add something. So also, so the folks, thank you for sharing it. It's really great stuff that you have shared, and it usually relates to the external stuff like tasks or like our job that we are going to do today or this week or this month. And I would just like to add that there are also internal sources of your feelings and of your passion, like your internal purpose. Answering the question why I'm doing this today and why I'm going to proceed with this this week and next week and like a couple of years after that. So also internal stuff is really important and really working. So just to give you a couple of examples, so I was working for one company who was developing a solution for the COVID-19 vaccine development. So it was really boring and we got a lot of issues, and the production system was not working well, and it demotivated team sometimes. It was hard times actually, but we found, and that probably just to share that it's our also role as a team leads to help the team find motivation in the purpose. So folks, we are not just fighting bugs, but we are saving the planet. So we are doing this, helping our client to build up this vaccine development system, right? So this is something that is lying way beyond today's day, which could be really hard, but it really fulfills the team with the passion of a bigger goal. And this is something that we as team leads can use in benefit on raising the team's motivation. So this really works, and I can encourage you to try to find in your particular project. It could be not even world saving, but it could be a bigger goal that will like make your team more passionate and therefore raise their motivation.
Right. So that makes me want to ask a question, particularly after the pandemic, after 2020, a lot of young workforces, young generation has joined workforce. I think a lot of you must be dealing those people, right? Leading, not dealing, leading those people. I'm talking about the Generation Z, Gen Z, after millennials. So Gen Z is the people born after 1995, the young workforce, the youngest workforce. Are we aware of that? So people born between 1982 and 1995 is called as Gen Y, Generation Y. That's millennials. So well, let me come to the question. What exactly do you think motivates Gen Z, the youngest workforce? There's one thing which all the reports say. Any guesses?
A kind of competition, something like competitive.
Okay.
Collaboration.
Competition, collaboration, yeah. Keep them coming.
I think Gen Z is very much into saving planet.
Okay.
Sense
So
of
all
purpose.
yeah, they have that, like more than millennials, and save water, save global warming and stuff. They're more aware and involved.
Okay, I will agree, yeah.
What I feel is that Gen Z has more access to the internet and all these things. So they are good with communications, and because of those accesses, they can actually know what exactly is going on over the world. Basically, the evolution, the changes, what are going on. So that's what keep them motivated.
Nice.
Social media.
Oh, social media motivates them? Okay. And let's hope so.
Like sharing on social media.
Yep.
Every
sharing on social
achievement,
media,
every
right.
experience.
One interesting fact, Madhuri. So I work for one of the HCM project. So while doing some research on the product, so the organizations are looking to make their workplace to have a purpose driven. So this is because of how the pulse of the employees with the Gen Z, or even some categories of Gen Y as well considered. So they should have a sense of purpose. So like if I'm working for something, it should have a purpose. Whether he need to grow, as well as he need to help the organization, and as well as he need to help the clients. So it is a balanced sense of purpose which they are looking for.
Sense of purpose, topped with. There's one more thing.
Purpose-driven work culture in the organization.
Work culture with flexibility.
Yeah.
So
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that attracts.
That's obvious.
Chandan was saying that. Chandan came very close to that. I thought he will say flexibility, but he explained it. So kudos to Chandan. So if you are dealing with the youngest workforce, they are different from Gen Y. And you can't blame them for that. So it's nice to provide them what they are looking for. Agree, disagree, partially agree?
That's why organization came up with hybrid model. So one of the greatest example.
Still good. And hybrid model is not actually giving everything wanted. That's a brutal truth. We'll probably discuss more about that later. Anyway, we are spending a lot of time here already. So yes, please go onto the internet and read what Gen Z is actually looking for. And it's a due responsibility of leads and managers to actually cater to them, to their needs. Going forward, there's something called team dynamics. If you all are aware of the model, there is a model which talks about the stages of team development or team growth: forming, storming, norming, performing, adjourning. Heard of this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So any thoughts around that model? I'm not going to become too scientific about the behavior model. Just wanting to understand what stage you think is the most complicated. Let me simplify the question further. What is the most challenging when it comes to dealing with the teams that we just spoke about?
Storming.
What is the most storming? Okay. Any other thoughts? I will brief, of course, I will brief about the stages. Okay. We have Dimitri who has something to share. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Madhuri. So yeah, storming is the most obvious answer here. And from my experience, it could be manageable, and probably it may be one of the most team lead duties to manage this, not just wait until it comes to an end. So in some cases, it could be even like going directly to some even conflicts in the team, but it would be a manageable conflicts. So you are not waiting when conflicts arises, but you are going into it. And I would just add that as soon as storming is the most obvious answer, adjourning could be really challenging, because adjourning is when your team is performing well, everything is fine, everybody's happy, and there is actually no reason to, you know, break all this stuff and start rebuilding your team, right? So there is no motivation for you as a leader to, so everything is good, right? Everyone is performing. So why should I do this adjourning? Why should I rebuild the team and break everything which is working? And that's why it's challenging, because you as a leader usually don't have this kind of, you know, motivation to break, which is working. But if you don't do that, so the things will become worse during the time period. So it's not, that's why it's challenging, I would say, just to what you said. Thanks.
Right. Yes. Both Nirmala and you helped us understand. Yes, to give a brief of everything, forming is when all of us come together. We don't know each other really well, and we don't know what is to be done and who is doing what. A lot of confusion, a lot of chaos. And we slowly get to know each other, and that is when the storming stage begins. When we start getting to know each other, we also realize that we are not alike. Is it fair to expect everybody to be like us? No.
No.
That would
Never.
be boring.
So yes, that's exactly the characteristic feature of storming. And when I say it's not fair to expect everybody to be like us, it is also natural for humans to expect people to be like us. And we always question, this person is not thinking like me. My subordinate is not able to understand my point of view. My manager is not looking at things from my lens. And you secretly want them to be like you. Agree, disagree? Agree. That is the characteristic feature of this phase called storming. And when we are aware of what storming exactly is, it will help us broaden the perspective. Oh yes, the opposite person is not like me. My boss is not like me. My reportee is not like me. They come from different set of experiences, and their experiences have shaped their attitudes. So it's my duty to go understand what their point of view is and why they are looking at this idea through that lens. Is that fair? Can I clarify? Can I jump in and figure out? So we get into an action mode. Hatred will become empathy. Oh, I hate this person for thinking like this will become, oh, let me understand the person's point of view. So storming is the most difficult stage, followed by
Forming.
performing. Norming, performing,
Norm.
it's all one. Norming is you come to understanding, oh yeah, some things never change, but we got to do what we got to do. That is norming. And then performing. Norming and performing, finally parting ways. That's adjourning. So now that we understood storming is the most difficult phase and we understood tactics to tackle it, hope storming is going to become easy for you. So the technique is to widen your lens, widen the perspective. Any questions? Any thoughts or any experiences you would want to bring about?
I just want to share the things like what I read about storming. Like when storming phase was going on, they asked the leads to remain silent unless the situation goes uncontrolled. So why do they say that? Like we don't want to jump into the situation, or we need to let the team wait and let them settle. So how do we know like when to step in and when not to step in?
Yes, beautiful question. I will pass this to Dimitri first, and then I will top it with the answer that I have on my head. Over to you.
So I think that it's just a personal opinion, right? So from my experience, so I would rather prefer to manage this stage directly. So what I mean by managing is that I need to put my control on how this stage is going on, which means I understand what are the differences between the team members, what are expectations between the team members to each other, and what are the possible conflicts that could arise out of that. So it's not necessarily mean that I'm stepping in each and every interaction, but I should understand the dynamics between the team members and understand when this dynamics could lead to a conflict. So, and if so, this is a good time to step in. So I would suggest not to wait for any kind of conflicts arising, with some exceptions. Maybe we'll have this part covered afterwards. There are exceptions that you would need to come directly into the conflict. And sometimes it was a good idea even to have this conflict in place because it's a manageable conflict. So you are stepping in afterwards, not before. But normally you will need to manage, meaning monitor, and understanding the dynamics and understanding the right way, the right moment to step in. So usually you should be ready to step in anytime, actually. Yeah.
Right. Thank you. And to add on to this one, let me quickly postmortem Nirmala's question into two things. One is, leaders are not, are asked to not step into the conflict. That was her first say. And the second one was, what is the right time to step into? I think Dimitri addressed both of them. But in this context, let me bring in picture the whole idea of autonomous teams. Heard the word? It's very popular these days. Autonomous teams. What is the meaning?
Self-manageable teams, independent.
Yes. And why is this whole idea of autonomous teams on the high rise? Any idea?
Because nobody wants to micromanage.
You don't want to micromanage. And we discussed the whole idea of flexibility, freedom that the generation is looking for. Yeah.
Probably they can complete the task or whatever the thing by themselves or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Agile, like in Agile, we don't have managers, right?
Yes. Lesser workforce, getting work done with less workforce and less budget as a result. Any other reasons?
No dependency on each other. So everyone will know everything. So that is the major agenda. So no dependencies.
Okay. No dependencies is one moment. My speaker is catching my words and it is giving me auto responses. Very scary trend. Robots are interpreting your speech. Oh God. Anyway, I'll come back. Thank you so much for all your responses. For many reasons, yes, autonomous teams. And the characteristic feature of autonomous teams is their ability to work on the tasks independently, number one. And number two, their ability to work with their peers without supervision, number two. Yeah. So yes, coming back to Nirmala's question, if the conflict is something not related to work, the lead has nothing to say. If the conflict is still within the scope of two people, again, the lead has no say. If the conflict has the power or capacity to influence the outcomes, then the lead has to enter there. But yes, if somebody comes and talks to the lead, oh yes, dear lead, this person is causing me problem and this person is doing this. I think ideal thing for the lead to do is to ask him or her to go talk to that person directly. Have you addressed this issue? Have you spoken this up with that person? Try going and telling politely to him, and then we can discuss. Should be the ideal answer when two people are within the capacity. This is my answer. I will take questions from Santosh and Dimitri, or opinions, I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Madhuri. So actually, I have an experience with Z people kind of thing because what my observation is, we also need to understand the demographics as well as their way of style as well, because there was an instance when I was explaining the concept to one of the team member, and they actually used it with some sort of words like F words and some sort of things words. So at the time, I got some offended when they used such word, right? So, but for us, it's not an acceptable thing at the time. But right now, we actually got to know how, but their intention is not like so. So then I got into some sort of conflict there. And at the same time, my team lead was also there. And he actually asked us to stay away for a few minutes. And at the same time, my team lead was able to explain why that guy is like so, what's the reason of the word, and there's no impact of that.
Right.
It's like an normal word for them. So we need to understand demographics as well as how they lead their life, their circle. These also play a vital role.
Got it. So your conflict went to the next level where the lead had to intervene and explain that there are no bad intentions, and that's just
yes.
I got that.
He's there at the time of the situation. He's there only.
Right. If he's a witness.
Immediately. Yeah.
Right. Got it. We'll listen to Dmitry.
Yeah, thank you, Santosh. It was an ideal bridge to a small addition that I wanted to say about the autonomous teams. So when nowadays, when we say about leaders or managers, there are two different roles, of course, but so it's more about supportive leadership. It could be even named servant leadership, right? Or coaching leadership. So it's not about I'm going and telling you what to do, but it's all about helping your team to be a true autonomous team. Of course, they are maybe not so mature as you are as a leader, and that's our duty to share our experience and to coach them and to advise them how to become better. So it's not about like do this and you do that and these are your tasks, and so don't conflict. At least in my presence, right? So it's more about supportive leadership. So this I think will help autonomous teams to grow and to perform better.
Absolutely. So let me get a confirmation from Nirmala. Does everything look covered, or you're still not answered?
Yeah, everything covered, Madhuri.
Thank you so much. Lovely. We'll go forward, and we have the case studies. We did the storming bit briefly. We'll try and finish the presentation in 10 to 12 minutes, and 3 minutes for paraphrasing by the expert, 3 to 5 minutes. Sounds good? Okay. Great. Then let me invite one of the teams. I'll check the case study. Request a little patience. I'm opening the file. Okay. Can I invite Priyesh Kumar and team? That is group 1.
Yeah. Hi, Madhuri. You are here.
Hi, Priyesh. You have such a unique name. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. And the same request this time, if all of the team members can come on video, if possible, otherwise contribute to the presentation. It'll be nice to have a, a discussion mode, not just a monologue mode. Yes,
All right. By
I
the way,
will
Madhuri,
stop presenting. Yes, so you can share now.
all right. Let me know if my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
All right. So let me switch. So basically, hi everyone, this is Priyesh and I'm representing group 1. And here is our case study, basically setting up a new team. Let me just adjust a bit. Yeah. So basically the case study is like on a growing project, you were assigned as a lead to a new team of 6 people. 2 of the team members have just joined EPAM, one of whom is a junior developer. You have 2 weeks to prepare before the start. So the first question was, what preparatory steps do you take before the actual work starts? So here are some of the pointers that we came up with. So beforehand, we can get the understanding of the domain, what areas the project is based upon, prepare a plan for the team as well to help them get acquainted so that everyone is either on the same page or at the expected level. We can also plan the KT sessions beforehand. We can create these skills matrix, which can be used as a reference for quick solutioning and delivery of the user stories. This can come handy actually for simple and maybe some complex tasks as well. We can also plan topics that every team member needs to learn or revise, and we can focus more on junior developer as well for this. And it will be great if we can assign someone as a mentor for the junior developer. So moving on to the next question, how can you prepare? Just a second. I'm sorry, I'm not able to read the question properly. Okay.
How
Okay,
can
so
you
it is
prepare
like,
for the first stage of team building?
yeah, thank you, Dimitri, for that. So yeah, so for this actually, we can get some in-depth insights about the project so that we are aware about the project beforehand, so that we can understand the overall mission, and hence we can set the goals for the team. We can plan a break the ice session where everybody gets to know each other. We can have connect with the team members, understand what their expectations are from the project, understand the areas they have worked upon and the areas they would like to explore. We should also organize internal connects within the team, basically encouraging open communication so that they get to know each other's skill set, areas of interests. Here we can also share some updates related to current projects and milestones. Basically, the team can do that. And as a team lead, we should also define the roles and the responsibilities, what all roles this project require. And then we should be introducing our team members to other teams as well, like DevOps, BA teams, because in a product or any project alone, there would be inputs from so many people at different point of time. So moving on. So what will you do to onboard your new team members? So first would be like, we should be using the right tools. For example, in our case, we have heroes and we can send a joining badge to the new team member. Warm welcome messages, always appreciated, right? Also, we can have a resource library where the new team members can refer to the knowledge documents, basically how they need to set up the machine. We can also ask the new team members to go through some of the foundational courses like engineering excellence, compliance, security trainings, and so on and so forth. We can have an onboarding dashboard to track teams' progress. We should also take continuous feedback for process improvements. We can also assign an experienced member to juniors so that they will be able to guide the new employees, and also this would make sure that the team members are getting involved with each other. We can have an induction plan, having schedule and tasks. Now, this comes way deep, way down in the list, but it is very much important that we should be setting the expectations clear so that everybody is aware what is expected out of them. And as a new team member, usually they would be having a lot of questions, so we should listen to them and try to resolve their concerns and queries. And that is all I had. Team, if you have anything to add, please go on. Otherwise, I'm open to feedback. Thank you.
Great. Well, can you take us back to the query? Yeah. Over to Dimitri.
Thanks, Madhuri. Thank you, Priyesh, for that, for this, and the team, of course. I believe it's a teamwork, right? So for this beautiful plan, I would say it's really solid and covers most of the things. So I really have only a few things to add, maybe, and to consider. We were having a junior who is also new to EPAM, right? So it could mean that he's new not only to the project details like other team members, but also to EPAM processes. And maybe he or she could be not able to perform very simple tasks that like look simple for us, like time tracking in time EPAM Comport or something like that. So it could be a good idea to you mentioned the mentorship here, of course. It could be a good idea to assign a body to him. Body is a role is slightly different from what is meant usually by mentor. So body is like about where is the toilet, all right? So like this kind of questions. So very simple ones, but somebody should be able and willing to, help with that. And usually it's a good idea to assign a body within the same level. So it shouldn't be like a lead developer who will be showing where is the toilet, but we have another junior in the team, right? As far as I remember. So this another junior who is already aware about the EPAM process, so he or she may be one of the best candidates for this like body assignment. And one more, if you go to the next slide. So actually, that's really beautiful. Thank you for that. So one more for the next slide is about the so about the techniques. So you mentioned to connection with team members, understanding the expectations, getting the team to know about each other. Just to share a couple of techniques, you may Google it, these techniques. One of my favorites, for instance, is a very short but simple but very powerful one. So if we get in the circle and just share, for instance, what is the history of your name? So why is your name, what is it? So if I share the history of why I'm called Dimitri, I will be also sharing some personal history. So my parents were deciding how to do it, etc. It would be like only 3 minutes of like my telling, but it will give a lot to the team and also by myself because I'm opening to the team, right? So now I feel more safe within this environment just because I opened slightly. So above this name history, there are a couple of other techniques, but they are very simple and very powerful. So it would be good if you would be aware of that as team leads and just use it on your own choice. And besides that, I think that's really great. Thank you for that.
Right, wonderful.
Thank you.
So here, I want to really recall something, a discussion which I had with many months ago in some different project, I'm giving a context. So there was a gentleman who comes to the session and he asks me, oh, Madhuri, you're asking us to build trust with your team, Do you think building trust is so easy? When that fellow is joined new and he's new, how do you want me to build trust with my team? So now that this case is exactly talking about a new team, right? So how do you think you can build trust with the new team? One thing that you can do, anybody with experience, idea, thoughts, can I request? No thoughts?
Maybe by helping.
Right. Offering help, great way. I'm there for you. So reach out for queries if any. Super. Any other
Madhuri,
thoughts?
Santosh here.
Santosh,
So
yeah.
in my opinion, trust is not a thing which can be developed on spot. It actually increased gradually. So it
Takes time.
starts with the understanding between the two people, as well as how the other guy is exposing him. I mean, showcasing himself and what he's doing and what's expectation, and
Right.
how he's able to deal. If we are able to track this for a few weeks, then definitely both will get understanding and then trust will be developed between them.
Superb. I'll catch that one little word you said. You said people need to understand each other. It's a powerful statement. So you as a lead or a manager or as an older team member, what can you do to understand the person who has come today to the team?
I actually follow this process only. So that's the reason I told
Okay.
this.
This question is an open question for everybody. How do you understand that person who has joined today? I'm an older member of the team. I'm a lead. I'm a manager. I'm the CEO.
But
the member is new. Yeah, Chandan.
I would generally look for maybe a good thing to start as checking if there is any common hobbies or any common interests. And from there, that's the path which leads to trust building relationship.
Yep. Informal communication and conversation starts with a good way.
Awesome. So
involving in the small activities like going for lunch or going for tea breaks, or make him feel little at ease that everybody is teachable.
Yeah. So let me quickly paraphrase before giving the screen to Dmitry. It is about the informal connect you do with that person and your interest in knowing that person. Come on, tell me more about yourself. Where are you from? What do you do? What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What technology have you worked upon? What projects have you worked upon? All of this in an informal style will probably pave the way to a long-lasting trust. Agree, disagree, thoughts?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Agree.
So now that this thing is agreed upon, tell us how many of us actually do that. Bother to do that. Bother saying a hello. Bother saying a tell me more about yourself.
That really helped me personally. So I've joined into one of the team, which is very new to me. This is the second dimension. So all the project team members are already there. And so I am the new to them. So how I can build a trust across the team. So how they accept me in a very quick time, because I don't have much time. I have a rush as well. So I had a connect with everyone, even in the remote world. So I had a connect point one-on-one. I get to know each other. I shared my perspectives with them. So they feel connected to me. So this really helped a lot.
Absolutely. Over to Dmitry. Sorry, we kept you waiting for a long time. Over to you.
That's totally fine. Thank you for that. I have something. I have a lot of information to comment, and I will do it very shortly. I fully agree with all of you folks. And just to share one technique, maybe, and one more thought. So we are all also persons, right? Not only working people. So interpersonal relationship, not related to job directly, could also help building this kind of trust. So another one simple but very powerful technique is to set up, for instance, a weekly 15 minutes coffee meeting when we are meeting together, but we talk about everything but work. So this is not about project status or any news or job statuses or what is in Jira, not at all. So we are talking about anything you'd like, but not about working. So this 15 minutes a week is a really powerful tool for starting building this kind of trust. And another one, just to share shortly, also a part of this trust building is, which is usually called walk the talk. So if you know that you can rely on me, you trust me better. So, but to know that you can rely on me, I should walk the talk. I should really do what I talk about, right? And what I tell you. So this is a really must-have for a team leader to be on the same side with what you are talking about. So we cannot afford ourselves just to say, okay, I will help you, and then I forgot, and then I got a lot of tasks. And this really lowers this kind of trust. So we should be very, very accurate with like walking what we are talking. So not just references. So go talk to your resource manager, or go talk to the people partner. So besides just offering the help and support, we should also provide this as well. And this helps us build trust within the team.
Right. So in Indian language, that is called chai pe charcha. You asked us to go for a coffee. Also tell us who is sponsoring the coffee.
We anyway have this coffee, right? So, or whatever we do. So it could be Monday morning coffee, it could be Friday evening beer, whatever you would like, whatever the team prefers. But it's not about coffee. It's about like we are talking as persons, not as like working team members. That's the key.
Right. Cool. I just tried pulling a quick joke anyway. I think Indians must have understood it. No discrimination though. Okay, all right. So please drop that one takeaway from this case on this slide. Keep it as specific as you can. And we should go to the next one, to the next case. One quick thing that you would do to prepare to work with a new team. Any takeaways from the case, or your independent thoughts are also welcome. Awesome. Initiate conversation. Yeah. I remember a few assignments where I was left alone for a week after I joined. And after a week, people would come greet me and give me tasks immediately. And I used to scream inwardly, oh, I'm human, talk to me. Connecting people to share thoughts, hobbies, common interests. Yeah. Safe space. Yeah. Connects before onboarding. Yeah, this is a wonderful style, wonderful tip. Thanks for adding this. Even before onboarding, we tell them that, yeah, we are awaiting their, joining date. Yeah, nice. Super. Buddy them up even before the original task with the other team members. Great technique. All right. So, well, we are at 3:22. We've been sitting for about an hour now. Your spines are screaming for help. Take a break, stand up, stretch, have some water, use the loo if you want, and come back at 3:30. We should be ready to go with the case number 2. Thank you. Take a break. All right. I hope everybody's back. Please let us know if you're back from break. So, well, we'll go ahead with Santosh. Yes, we are listening to you. Oh, you're showing us that you're back. Okay, I got you. I got you. I thought
No,
it's a
hey,
reason.
hi.
Yeah,
Actually, I wanted to share one thing that was happened with me near 6 years back with
Mm.
respect to a new team member. So actually, I was with Javi. Then after the 2 years of that task, the project was ramped down. And because of that, and at the same time, the client was happy with my abilities. So he actually asked me to move me into the testing area. For me, it's completely new, the manual testing process. And the new team leader was not that much acceptable with me because of not having any knowledge on the testing background. But still, he was able to reach my existing team leads to understand me, and he also had talked with the on-site team members, managers, and here also with the heavy account managers. He got to know about me, and that's how he was able to understand and able to get the trust on me. And at the same time, I was able to spend time with him with a small tea breaks, so on and so forth. And then at the same time, I was shown my intuition with respect to the learning the new things in terms of testing. For me, everything is new, like writing test cases, what is the test criteria, how to do everything, completely new to me. So he was able to understand, and he's able to interrelate the information from other sources and how I'm doing. So that's how he was able to get the trust on me. And right now, I'm not in the team, but still he likes to connect with me whenever he got the time.
Nice. Right. You have a friend, philosopher, and guide for life.
Right.
Nice. Wonderful. Thank you for sharing it with us. Yeah, very heartwarming, I would say. All right. Let's go with case 2. That is, where are you? Case
Yeah.
2 is, you ready? Okay, mini group
Yeah.
2. Lovely. Please go ahead.
Yeah, let me actually start sharing screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, we are able to see it. But
Okay.
right. Now, yeah.
Yeah, so this is our case study. So this is like a new team lead in a partially established team. So you were assigned as a team lead to a team of 8 people, where 5 team members are part of a previous team and 3 more joined together with you. Now, there was an informal leader in the previous core team who is technically stronger and older than you, more wiser than you too. And after several weeks of close collaboration with the team, you start seeing a kind of sabotage emerging from the member side. So this is from the old team, the core team, the previous team of the 5 members. And there are arguments in the team related to the informal leader's position. So there are 2 basic questions, like how will the situation develop further if nothing changes, and what would you do to recommend for avoiding or handling this situation. So I mean, if we don't do anything, I think these are like very obvious things, like team conflict will arise. And this is like one of a very big thing. So even in you, right, as a team lead, an unconscious bias will be created. I mean, I mean, this is like an unrecognized bias. It's like assumption, which is like very incomplete, and it will I mean, give you a false assumption or a false uh, what to say, I mean, about the false what to say, I mean, it will give a false assumption about the team members, so this will affect them in negative way. So obviously we'll feel lack of motivation to work, less productivity. Yeah, so due to this unconscious bias or unrecognized bias, you might end up giving a negative feedback to the peer, or even you could get a negative feedback from your team members. So even with all this, I don't think anyone will be able to achieve their real goals, even like on a personal level or a organizational level. And on an extreme level, you can even lose the client, because the client team will anyway sense like there is a coordination gap or there is a lack of understanding between the team members. They're not working perfectly, and you're missing some timelines. Obviously, if you don't work productively, you're bound to miss some of the timelines. So this, in an extreme case, you might also lose a client, which will impact the brand. So this is what if you don't do anything to address this situation. Now let's go to the next slide and see here. So first of all, as a team lead, it's your responsibility to set the expectation right. So have a call with the informator regarding the expectation, and take the handover from the existing team lead, informal team lead. And if you can have a session with all the team members, like setting up the expectation that, hey, I'm the new team lead, I'll be taking over the charge, you all be reporting to me, and all those things. So in-person meeting is better than like a Zoom call meeting, but since because of the hybrid model, I think Zoom is also fine. But I'd personally prefer for an in-person meeting. And set the expectation as a team lead, like you'll be taking charge, and then ask them their concern, like, oh, what do you think, where are the lags, where are the gaps that we need to fill in, and all those things. So 1-2 session, or even I think it will be great to do. If that doesn't work, go for a 1-2, because as we can see, right, there is a sabotaging behavior which is emerging from the core member, which is like the 5 team members. So even if these 4 set doesn't work, try to have 1-to-1 conversation with the team members, like individually with those 5 team members, and try to understand their concern. Like they might say that as a team lead, I'm not been able to fill in the shoes of the informal leader in terms of technical skills or something or them, and try to address them. So this will also give them a chance to trust you in a better way. And obviously collaborate with the team with a friendly gesture, like a friendly relationship with them, involve in team building activities, go for coffee session as we discussed, go for some play, like outdoor games, something like that. You can choose anything you want, like based on your team uh, interest. And if all of these things are not working, I think there would be an extreme step to going to your scrum master, or reporting it to the HR, like, hey, this is going up in the team, what should we do? So yeah, I mean, these are all the things which we had in our mind. Over to you, Madhuri.
Right, great. So I will pass this on to Dimitri. Please help us paraphrase everything. Yeah, I quickly pass it on to you. If I have comments remaining, I will add on to your version. Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Hopefully we'll have different views on that. So thank you, Saif. And you definitely got slightly maybe a more challenging task as soon as you have an existing team, which is usually more hard or more difficult to handle in comparison to the very new from when you're doing something from scratch. So first of all, the important point, this is, by the way, here it's a little bit simplified. So you know that there is an important, an informal leader. So you know who is this person, right? It's not always obvious in all the cases, so from my experience. And it really matters for you as a leaders to understand that even if there seems to be no informal leader, there is always one. So if you don't see anybody to be like an obvious leader, the first task you would need to do is to understand who is that the informal leader, because it's always one within the team. And that's important. Secondly, so if you go to regarding the consequences, it's all good. So we catched all the points, I think. So maybe I will add something, but most of them really are covered. But for the actions, for the next slide. So what I advise you to do. So maybe direct handing over works good, but it works, by the way, not with every person. So depending on the cultural background, on the experience background, it could be not so smooth just to go and say, okay, I'm handing over to myself, right, from you. So this kind of approach works sometimes, but not every time. And in this case, it would be a good idea to get in touch with this informal leader, addressing him a couple of core messages, which could be, for instance, first, I respect you. So I respect your maturity, your experience, and what you have been doing for this team. I'm not going like to annulate anything that you have done. Of course, I will support everything and will make it like even better. So secondly, I'm not going to so that you will not a leader anymore, and now I'm a new leader, like I will kill you, I'm in brackets as a leader, and now I will be a new leader. So I will support you with your informal leadership and help you grow as well, if you would like even to formal leadership someday, right? So, and third point, maybe it also works depending on the cultural background, but I'm coming for help. So not to like manage you or to direct you, but also to support the team. So this is my only intention. So we have nothing to discuss about that. So there shouldn't be like a point of conflict, right? Because I'm coming to you with my good intentions to support. And I'm suggesting the help and support from my side as a leader, but also respecting your experience and maturity. I am asking for help from your side. So I really respect all that you have, and I'm in you in this team. So I would really appreciate if you could support me with some initiatives, you know, some things that we are together going to do to make this team even better. So this ask for help will feed him his or her like sense of need or sense of importance, right? So you are feeding his or her importance feelings, so that he or she would not get insulted with I'm a new leader, so I'm just handing over from you to myself. So he will feel respected, and therefore you will get less resistance from his side in most cases. I mean, there is no universal advice, you know, but these points could really help getting closer to this informal leader.
Right. So to paraphrase all of this, it's a wise thing to benefit out of this person's experience and knowledge. Yeah. Santosh wants to say something. Santosh, over to you.
Yeah, I have a doubt over here. So Dimitri, what if we can, for me, I think this is one sort of advantage to the team lead, in my opinion. So if I can make use of the informal leader as an accountability to some of the works, and if I can delegate to the work to him, I can also concentrate on other challenging works, and I can move in the ladder. So I can make use of this in that pattern.
Absolutely. And actually that would be a great idea for you to grow further from team lead to the higher ladder positions, because that would be your task actually in the next couple of I don't know, weeks, months or years, to understand who would be that informal leaders in your team that you could, you know, support with growing and delegate them important tasks, and therefore you will grow yourself as a leader, and you may grow the team by doing this. So this is not a challenge. So if you look at this from other angle, so you are beneficial because you already have this leader there, right? So you don't need to search for anybody. So the only thing you would need to do is to get trust relationship with him, and you are having a very powerful ally in your team actually, if you handled it. Yeah, absolutely, Santosh.
Right. So I think one word out of the whole case attracts my attention, where I would want to tell you a small story, but not before asking you your take on informality. You think informality has benefits or otherwise? Please tell us. Of the case, out of the case, generally. Being informal, does it have advantages or disadvantages?
I think it comes on a gray area. I think it has advantages and disadvantages too, because if you become like too informal with as a team lead, if you become like too informal with the team members, they might not get the sense of authority from you. So that is a disadvantage, and advantage is like you get to connect with the team, I mean, in a very speedy way.
Right, right.
Yep.
I have a story to narrate, I think, to validate Saif's answer. He was absolutely right. Only if some of those lenient team members take you for granted. But for that, I think informality has a lot of advantages. I would like to narrate to you the story of Walmart. Heard of the name? A very big name, consumer store chain. So the founder, Sam Walton, had a typical habit in the initial days in the 1990s when they first established Walmart. From Monday to Friday, from Monday to Thursday, the managers would do just one thing. Go around to the stores in the vicinity. Each of them would take one area, and they would go to both Walmart stores and also to the competitor stores. Monday to Thursday, the same job. Friday, they would meet with Sam Walton, the founder, and Sam Walton would discuss with them, no structure, informal talk for 4 hours. And then he would make his notes, followed by which he would make decisions. And all of this is shared in a beautiful book called What the CEO Wants You to Know, written by this person called Professor Ramcharan, who is an Indian, but is settled abroad, and he's a big name in the corporate communications domain, all of that. But this beautiful book. In that book, this particular professor takes the example of Walmart, and he says informality is a boon in disguise. So informality is something that invites unpleasant truths. And if you can discover those unpleasant truths, you can actually devise solutions for those hidden problems. So yeah. Take it in your stride. You see how informality can help you. And that's the story I wanted to narrate. I hope you enjoyed it. So, well, thank you so much. And before going to the next case and the last case, I would like you all to list the takeaways on this slide. This will be shared with all the participants. So these docs are really precious. Yes. Is this the question? No? Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. Where do I start dealing with the issue? I'm very sorry. Yeah. Okay. I think this is the one. Yeah. Your takeaways, your inputs, both individual and from the case. Another 10 seconds. Can I invite more answers? I don't see anything here. Informal people are there everywhere. Sometimes it's just their personality, and sometimes insecurity also comes out as informality. Just not sounding that you don't care sounding that you don't care so much about it. All of that. So there are multiple attitudes. Informality to your advantage positively. Yeah, that will be a wise thing to do. Understand team's expectations. Yeah, expect. Okay, and be prepared with shocks. Don't lose your cool. I think Dhoni taught us this one. Be cool. Dhoni is an Indian cricketer who is known to be very, very cool even in crisis. So yeah. Give respect, ask for expertise, be open to new learning, encourage growing together, understand the issues. Okay, to build with team members and understand their expectations, build a trust, lead by example. Yeah, setting clear expectations. Yes, yes, yes. +1, +1, +1. What am I doing? What are you doing? What is he doing? What is she doing? Very clear. Ensure participation from all team members. Yes, yes. Try to understand the existing team and the way they work. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and this one I would like to recall the habits of highly effective people. 7 habits of highly effective people, a very popular book, which says seek to understand first and then to be understood. It's a habit, one of the habits of highly effective people. Yeah, and you told us that in a very simple manner. Lovely. Over to the last team. It is group 3, mini group 3. Let me see the names. I don't see the name. Amrit Singh, Chandan Kalyani, Divya Chopra, and team.
Yeah, I will
Over
be
to
sharing.
you. Yes, I'll stop sharing. Yeah. Oh, lovely. Divya's on video. Glad to see you.
Thank you. Can you see the presentation?
No, we can only see your beautiful smile.
I have. Okay. Yeah.
Now we can, yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
hello everyone. I am Divya.
One sec. Sorry to interrupt, Divya. Can you go on slideshow?
This is slideshow.
Great. Now it is on slideshow. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so hello everyone, I'm Divya. I will be representing mini group 3. So starting with our problem statement, the title is non-efficient teamwork. So what we have is a big team of 12 engineers and we've all things set up. So we have agreed team ceremonies, meetings and communication, and everyone knows what to do, and we have like an established relationship with the customer. But the problem is there are 2 senior team members who are more focused on doing their own tasks, but they're not proactively involved when junior colleagues have difficulties, and even juniors, they don't ask for help proactively and try to do things on their own. So what our job was to find out how the situation will develop further if we do not make any change now, and how do we recommend to handle the situation, right? So let me also show you our beautiful collaboration board. We worked on this tool called Miro.com and it was really helpful, and we were able to do it to like come to a solution really fast and efficiently as a team. So yeah. All right. So how will the situation develop further if nothing changes? So we've divided it into 2 types: team level consequences and business level consequences. Team level consequences, it like depends, not depends, like are the consequences that will happen to the team if we don't do anything. So I believe the main root cause here is this point: lack of efficient communication, and because of this everything else is getting get coming in the picture. So starting with poor team culture, because nobody, like seniors are not talking to juniors, juniors not talking to seniors, low team morale, team does not have confidence in themselves, duplicate work. So maybe juniors are doing work on their own, so maybe seniors have to redo their work. Increased workload, uneven distribution of workload, which will lead to high stress environment that might also lead to team members leaving the team, which is really bad. And then poor quality of work, resistance in sharing ideas openly with team. A team is hesitant in sharing the ideas, team productivity is going down, and this is also very bad. like there will be very little development of team members in terms of skill and knowledge if nobody's sharing anything to them and nobody's working collaboratively. Coming to business level consequences, we all know pretty obvious because productivity is decreased. There will be delay in project deliverables, disappointing project results, lack of customer satisfaction, then losing customers' trust in the company, and finally, worst of all, losing customer. So now that we are aware of what this problem can lead to, we have actually divided our solution into 4 approaches. First of all, what action should we take at individual level? So this is what a manager will do at individual level, like how he will reach out to individual person in the team. So first thing that comes to our mind is he or she, the manager, has to do one-on-one sessions, like regular one-on-one sessions with everyone. So to understand their challenges, like why they're not collaborating, why they're not working as a team. So there might be many reasons. There might be some existing conflicts between them, or maybe juniors are not skilled enough. They don't feel confident, and maybe seniors don't have confidence in juniors. So like understand whatever their challenge is and like try to fix those issues and provide feedback to them that this is what can happen if we don't work as a team. Show them clear picture, tell them what are their expectations, basically lead by example. So managers should be able to inculcate an open environment with like transparent environment where everyone is very eager to collaborate. There is continuous improvement in terms of skill development and training and proactive communication. So that is what like we can do at individual level. Coming to team level, so as a team, what we can do is we can have a regular sprint retrospection meeting, which is like one of the meeting of Agile, which is part of the Agile. And here in this meeting, basically we use the collaboration tool, and everyone is allowed to share like how the sprint went, what was good, what was bad, what can be improved, what was not good. So maybe like in maybe some people of the team, they will be able to share their point of view in the sprint retro meeting. So like make sure everyone attends this meeting and they are able to share whatever they want to share. Same point here, like every team member to share, they should be able to share ideas in all the project meetings, not only retro. They should like inculcate an environment where everyone is able to share their ideas openly. And you can use team channels, like create a separate channels for communication. So if someone is not able to speak, they should be able to write something, maybe share their work, share the documentation, share where they're stuck, and share something to review. So a Teams channel for them. Conduct non-work team building activities every week. So maybe every Friday, as we already discussed, coffee break, tea breaks, where we talk just about anything other than work. Maybe play some virtual games, or like our team, we play virtual games and we tell each other cultural stories because it's multicultural team. So we tell them stories about different cultures. So everyone is really interested in it. It becomes quite engaging. And so this is what we can do at team level. Then comes process level. So how can we, like I as a manager, can change the process of the team? So what I can do is I can equally delegate tasks. And this is something in programming, like in technical teams, pair programming, but this we can apply to all the teams. So for example, we can mix junior and senior in one, like assign them one task and let them do that task together, so in a pair. And then we can schedule weekly or bi-weekly demo sessions. So every work which is done by a junior or senior, everyone is able to demo that work, and regular KT sessions by senior, so that there is knowledge transfer, so that even if a senior leaves the team or go on a long holiday, like everybody in the team is in sync. and this should also be like focused and taken seriously. All the documentation should be updated. Then the last is organization level approach, and learned everything from EPAM. uh, awards and recognition culture. So regular award ceremonies for team effort, right? And also some team events, maybe like architecture kata, that helps like team to participate in it and get excited about the team. The open door policy and clear communication channels, so that everyone is able to share their concerns, issues, or any feedbacks, upwards, downwards, like all the communication is very smooth without any hindrance in between. And regular communication training. So that might be the case that because of the multicultural, I mean cross-cultural team, people are not able to, like they don't know how to interact with person from some other country, or maybe they're not comfortable with it. So maybe communication trainings will help them gain confidence and help them like pass that first barrier. So this is organization level approach, and that is it. In teamwork, silence isn't golden, it's deadly.
Wow. Wonderful. Great presentation. Well done. And I would say well chunked. I think, yeah, you managed to divide things into blocks and structured it really well. Over to Dimitri for feedback and conclusions.
That's great, dear. It's really good structured, and the content is very good. So I only have few things to add, maybe just from a personal experience. So if we get to the slide 4, to the consequences. So there is a lot of stuff that you mentioned. I would also add that for us as a team leads. So just a little bit of context. So we are in the people business, right? So we as EPAM are benefiting from leveraging our teams, our people experience and capabilities for our clients, right? So we are selling like these capabilities, not people, of course, not heads, but also heads, but the capabilities. So it is crucial for us to build up a so-called, so what if we lose one of the seniors? So it's really a disaster, right, for us as a team leads. We need to find another one. There is no KT, juniors are not aware what was going on, so it's really a disaster. So ideal situation is building as a so-called self-recreating or reproducible team. When juniors are growing into mids are growing to seniors, and you are having this kind of what is called usually succession planning, when juniors and you in your project are having a really succession plan for them, how they can grow at your project to seniors. And you will, as a team leader, you will really benefit from that, right? Because first of all, they are having all the context about the client, about the domain, about the project. And by the way, sometimes it's also beneficial for the project margin, because sometimes juniors are able to do the job of the middle developers, and mids are able to do the job of the seniors. So you may even sell them for the higher pricing, which is actually our business, right? So now how we can build this succession planning for seniors who are, from my personal experience, I usually, like, I'm a senior guy, right? I'm very experienced developer or whoever. So why should I spend my time working with this kindergarten? They usually say this word, like this kinders. So why? I'm passionate about my like tough or difficult tasks and challenging ones, and that's why I'm working here. So the way to approach them could be the following. So first of all, it's their way to growth. Because you cannot go from senior to lead unless you have spent your efforts in growing juniors. That's first point. That could motivate someone, but not everyone. But for the rest, the motivation could be the following. So your work consists not only in challenging tasks. So there are always a boring part of it, right? Even for seniors and leads. So what if I help you as a team leader to build up a pair with any junior who will help you with this boring part so that you can focus on what really matters for you. So this is not about the growth, but it's really can motivate a senior person to invest his effort or her efforts into the growth for junior. And it's really works from my experience. And it's not just I'm giving you the junior, now you spend your efforts. I'm helping you to, build up this kind of pair. And so if you set up this kind of succession planning for everyone, juniors would be motivated because they will know that they are on their way for growth to middle and then to senior, and seniors could be also more motivated either because they are on their way to growth or both actually, or because they are getting rid of more boring tasks for them. So besides that, I think that's really great job. Thank you, team. It was really beautiful.
Nice.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. One moment. I will ask all of you to again list your takeaways here. Okay.
Sorry, Madhuri. So just the feedback on the feedback. Does it make sense for you, Dile?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Okay.
That's really smart way actually. Yeah,
Okay.
because seniors, like seniors working with juniors, like why will they waste their time? I mean, it should be beneficial for both parties, even
Yeah.
juniors and seniors. Yeah.
But usually you need to put more efforts in selling this to the seniors.
Yeah.
Usually.
Yeah.
cool. Are you able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes. Please list your takeaways and also your thoughts. We'll go forward. I'll get you thinking on the whole idea of the performing stage. We have seen forming, we have seen storming, and then there is norming, coming to an understanding. And if you think you all have tips, techniques, experiences which were not discussed in the case or in the opinions shared thus far, please go and add them here. They will add value to a lot of audience here. So they're very precious. Ten seconds to receive your responses, and I will move to the next slide. I was so happy when Divya was talking about that virtual fun call, no agenda call, where you play, chit chat and all of that, which is great culture. A lot of tech teams say, we tried, but it didn't work. We tried, but we could not go for more than 3 or 4 runs. Now we stopped doing it and things like that. But it's good to connect beyond work, understand each other, yeah. Okay, improving communication among team members. Yeah, identify root cause, empower juniors. Yeah, collaborate and work. Yeah, plan work properly, achieve, yeah, small targets. Yes, chunking the complex task into smaller ones and helping them that way. Yeah, it's a great tip here. Okay, regular skill trainings. Yes, I've made a note of this one. I will pass this to the technical training team also. All right, thank you for your responses. Let's go forward and the performing stage. Here, how can you identify this one? How do you know, oh yes, my team is at a performing stage? Have you ever experienced a performance stage? And how does it look like? What are the features?
If the team is performing as expected, as per the plan, when the team aligned to the plan
Mhm.
and achieving the results in the process of achieving the goals.
Mm. And the client is not escalating.
Yeah.
Mature
what-
team, in my opinion, Madhuri.
Sorry, Santosh, I missed the response. Could you repeat?
Okay, so in my opinion, it is a matured team. They are independent. Any trouble, it can be solved between themselves, and they can manage their workload. They can find out the ways to solve any things like either if they want the breaks, or else either if they have any dependencies on other team member, or if they have any issues as well. Instead of going to manager or the team leads, they know the way how to solve it. So it's an mature team, in one word.
Right, right.
Though even if some conflicts arises, they are resolving themselves. So that means, as Santosh suggested, they are matured enough to handle their conflicts by themselves. A sense of autonomous in the teams. Yeah. And the clear communication, strong relationships, whatever the lags we have discussed so far has been overcome, and they themselves attained those difficulties as an opportunities, and they're working together to sustain the goals, achieve the goals.
Right. And that's autonomy. So we discussed a lot of benefits, but somehow I forgot to share the, the benefit from the point of view of the organizations. The organization doesn't want task completion. The organization wants ideas, independent ideas, innovative ideas, creative ideas. And I think all of this comes when people are autonomous. And that's the ultimate objective of encouraging or building autonomous teams. So thank you for bringing that word. Otherwise, I would have missed on the point. Anyway, any more thoughts? When do you know that your team is at a performing stage? Yeah, please go ahead, Dmitry.
Just two words to add to what you have said, and I agree fully with that. So there is a term which I believe it's like flow state. So you understand when you are in flow state, when there is nothing that there is something you are focused on and working with passion. And if the team is not asking, okay, will I get the bonus this month if I complete this task? So that probably could be not a flow state, right? So flow state, you will understand when you see it. And another one is for autonomous team, there is also a term, ideal system. The ideal system is a system which is not existing actually. So which means you don't need to interfere the teamwork. You don't need, to solve conflicts, to do whatever, to get rid of any issues. So if you are not needed, so actually that's the best job you have done. And it doesn't mean that you would get fired, by the way. So it does mean that you can grow further. So you can take more teams, you can take more volume, you can go to the client with new ideas. So you can make more development when you can rely on your team who doesn't really, need your babysitting here. So ideal system is a non-existing system. So ideal manager is a manager who doesn't even exist. Yeah, of course, that's in brackets. That's in brackets, of course, but this is an ideal state that we as leaders may like to reach.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So the managers, one of the primary objectives is to make his team autonomous, to make himself non-existent. That's what you said. And you also said you understand that your team is at a performing stage when you get no pings and no emails. You're not needed. Very nice. Thank you so much. High productivity, autonomous, clear communication, continuous improvement. Okay. Right. Yeah. Any other thoughts? Anybody who didn't share some valuable thoughts? You know, in a group discussion, what happens is there's this inhibition. Oh, my idea might be wrong. Oh, my idea might not be taken in the way I want people to take it. Please kill that inhibition. Share your thoughts raw. If you want me to stop recording, I can do that as well. But I want thoughts. Yeah. They're feeling accountable, taking ownership. Yes. Proactively participating. Santosh. Yeah, we're listening to you.
Yeah, sometimes like whenever at the very initial stage when the team is right. So when we are getting some complex tasks, okay, we are getting some complex tasks and everyone is focusing on to complete those complex tasks and all. So after at the performing stage, even if the complex or more complex, which is coming up, which in they will take it as a normal self-sufficient, and they will take it as a continuous improvement. So more complex, like how we are exercising in the gym, right? So if we are going for a set with 15 dips, so the next day and next day, if we are going with the count of the 20, so it will not take much pain, right? So we are self-autonomous and continuously increasing ourselves, improving ourselves.
Yes. And, you know, to just make it a little practical, I think flexibility is something that makes all of this possible. Again, coming back to the basics, continuous development, performing well, driving results, achieving, no complaints from the client. All of this is an ideal stage. I'm very sorry for a bad throat. But all of this can be driven by that first thing where we started the session with, that is flexibility. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. Let's go forward if we have anything pending. Oh, yes. You can help people be at a performing stage. I already opened the discussion, I guess. I said flexibility, yeah, being flexible. When I say flexibility, I'm also talking about this recent trend where people want flexi time. I don't know what the standard word for that is, but I saw this word flexi time somewhere, which means I'm working from 7 in the morning till 9. And I have something to do with my family from 9 to 11. So I'm not there 9 to 11. From 11 until 4, I'm there again. 4, I'm going to attend my family. So 4 to 6, I'm not there. And 6 to 7, I will be available. This is flexi time or high productive time. A lot of names people are referring this as. So what's your take on this one? Is that going to kill the work spirit, or is it going to help employees? What's your take on this one, flexi time? And a lot of people are asking for it. And you can't even question them because work-life integration is a new thing. I think I'm bringing a new topic altogether, but yeah. I began by stating flexibility as one of the things for performing stage to sustain. So, any thoughts? No thoughts?
Yeah, it has its own advantages and disadvantages. Absolutely, for an individual, it may be helpful. So as a team, if we are working together, this may, let's say if someone works in some different times and some other, so the overlap time will kills. So the collaboration may miss. So it causes some communication gaps and waiting periods. But for the flexibility, he can feel that he was flexible enough and he can be productive to the organization or the tasks. Yeah, it's about the planning again. So adverse agility.
Yeah. Last session, I remember Jay talking about the same high productive time and Friday no meetings. I want to just quote him again today. He's not there with us, but yeah. So Jay was our expert in the last session. So I'm just quoting his ideas. So yeah. What's your thought around this one, Dimitri? We would like to hear from you.
So got a lot of it, but maybe one worth mentioning. So usually I'm trying to understand that this performance state is not stable, first of all, and it's not like this line, like horizontal one, right? So it's always up and downs even within the stage. So it's important for us as a leaders to understand these ups and downs and to support team with their downs, and also to reward and recognize the ups. Yes, as already mentioned. So it's always worth understanding that even within the stage there is already also dynamics, and if you miss these downs, so you can miss the stage at the end of the day, right? So it's also important to understand this and to keep this like hand on the pulse of the team, understanding who is going down, where support is needed. And so there are like two hands, supportive one and rewarding one. And you are not trying to get rid of these downs. It's impossible actually, mostly, but trying to leverage these downs and be supportive in this in this areas or in these timelines. Yeah. Yeah, keep an eagle eye. Yeah.
Eagle eye. Okay.
Yeah.
I think this also is a nice one. I was just reading this one. So if something comes up, you are there for a discussion. It's a human thing to do. Oh yeah, you want to share something with me, ask something, I'm there. I'll be there. I'll take that quick 10 minutes out to listen to you and see what I can do for you. Yeah. Right. So that's about performing stage. We have seen the ideas of performing, storming, and performing. I've chopped off 2 stages, but there are 5 stages in total. So we have also seen the ideas of autonomous teams. A few cases presented. Let's see what's there in store. That's it. Have we forgotten talking about anything? Any specific questions you have? These questions can be addressed to Dimitri or to the people who presented the cases. Any specific questions? Nirmala, we are listening to you.
Yeah. So I just have a situation, just you said about the flexi time. So right now I'm not a lead, but in future, if there is a person asking for a flexi time, so in my point of view, since I'm a developer, I feel like, okay, having a time off and then working is an effective thing, because it will be very active, because you finished your work, the personal work is done, and you have a work. This is a time to work. So they will be doing the work very actively. That is my point of view.
Absolutely.
But as a lead, do I need to agree or disagree? That is like a dilemma question for me. So, because that involves the organization also, it's not like a one-man thought. So how to decide in that situation?
Yeah. So here the biggest question is the prime thing in picture is the result. Are the objectives fulfilled at the end of the day? So if this person takes your niceness for granted, then you can't give him more flexibility. If that person is respecting the flexibility, is respecting the humanity that you have for that person, please go ahead and continue, but experiment with it first. You tell, you do the, briefing of the disclaimer. I trust you, and these are the objectives. I am with you. I understand you have family needs. So I'm granting you this freedom. Be there in the meetings. I know you're not there in this time, so I will be mindful of it. But at the end of the day, if there is up and down in the objectives, then I will come to question. This is a way of putting it for that person. And everybody can know this as well. This is not a secret job. You're not favoring this person. This is open. As long as the work is done, as long as you all can walk with head high in pride. I'm becoming so Bollywood, so filmy, but yeah, objectives is the prime thing. And to let you know, flexi work time is one of the prime requirement in the job seekers after pandemic.
Correct.
They're not listening to the organizational policies. Remote work is increasing. Flexi work is increasing. Companies are changing policies. They're changing their styles. And you don't know what we have in store in 2025, 2030. So I think, yeah, we should be prepared for the future.
Got it.
Yeah. We have two hands. Yeah.
I have one other question after your answer. So whether the organization will be focusing, okay, hey, this person is doing one job. See, for example, I have one objective and he completed in 3 hours. And yeah, even he can take 5 hours. So whether the organization will think, okay, am I giving a less objective for him? Shall I give him more, or I'll respect him and I'll give him a flexi time?
This is great question, actually. Okay, Dimitri has something to say.
Sorry, Madhuri. Yeah, can't stop myself from thank you, Nirmala, for this beautiful question. So for me as a leader, what is more important to have this person for a full time from 9 to 5, working at half of his potential and half of this productivity, or give him an opportunity and motivation to give like 120% of his productivity. So it's not only about skills, right? It's also about not I am able to do, but also what I want to do. And if you give me this kind of flexibility, I will give you 120 in change. It's a deal, right? So a deal of expectations. Sometimes it doesn't work, and like Madhuri mentioned, so it should be an experiment with a particular person. But it's much better from my personal perspective as a leader to have this guy with or whoever with 120 productivity, rather than he or she will just sitting these hours. And we have in Russian we have this IBD, imitation of activity working. So like person is working actively, he is or she is writing letters, active in the chats, but not so really productive. So from the leadership perspective, it really makes sense. So it's really makes sense.
And to address that little question, how do I answer the organization? So here, people's leaders are the greatest leaders. So you are taking the side of your people and you tell your organization that you are taking care of your team and ask them to trust you. It might sound very philosophical, but yeah, tell them, give me a chance, give me an opportunity. I'm doing something. I will come back with the report. I will tell you how things changed. I will tell you how people changed, how attitudes changed, and ultimately how numbers changed. Give me an opportunity. Ask them for it and show what you can change. And you might become an example for many. Yeah.
Thank you, Madhu. Thank you, Dimitri, for the answer.
Yeah. And ultimately, human approach is the best approach. Doesn't mean we are operating a business, we forget being human. That's the first thing, yeah. If your business process is not human, then it will not remain for a long time. That's eventually going to be wiped out because it's not helping the human in you. So every businessman, every tycoon, every office worker is human first. Santosh, we're listening to you.
Sorry, so far we have discussed the different cases, right? So how we'll handle some situation arises. So in the different case of stages, something which haven't like something that already it was worsened and it has been highly escalated. High people got involved in the situations. Team has demotivated and something in a class of like sinking ship, right? So how we as a lead we need to take those things apart. So how we initiate in that self.
You're saying something is complicated beyond control.
Control.
And you as
So
a leader,
many people got involved. Like it's could be the organization, client, the team morals, the other peers, the managers, whoever, all the stakeholders.
Right.
How we gonna
Let's listen to the expert. He has an answer for this.
Actually, no, I don't have an answer for these 2 minutes at least. So some time ago, I was conducting a recovering trouble projects training, where it's a full 3-day training, like three days, 8 hours each. So your question is really complicated, but just to put it into 1 minute, there are approaches that you could Google, or just you may reach me directly, so I could share the materials and some of my experience with you. Would be happy to do that. But just for you to know, there are approaches how to handle that, and that's not about letting senior leadership, micromanaging your developers. Not at all.
Okay.
Right.
Reach me out if you would be interested. I would be happy to share.
Definitely.
Sure.
Thank
I
you
think
so
And
I
with the
will share
team, by
my
the way,
thoughts as
so
well.
maybe some materials I may share with the team as well, who everyone, so maybe someone else will benefit from that.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
I will share my thoughts as well. May not be the perfect answer, but I remember saying this word. I don't know if it's in this session or the one that I did in the morning. There is two orientation. One is problem orientation and the other is solution orientation. Heard of the words? These are not something that are directing us to results, right? I'm talking about the mindset. Problem orientation, solution orientation. In any kind of crisis, if you exhibit solution orientation, that's the right thing. You said we are in soup. We are all ailing. We are in soup. In that situation, if you have a mindset where you are still looking for ways to find some solution out of soup, I think that's something you can offer in that situation. The sales are falling, you know, they are hitting all-time low. Oh God, oh God, oh God. That is problem orientation. What can I do now at this point when the sales are at an all-time low? What is one thing I can do? Can I really do something? Is it under my control? This is solution orientation. Just see if this kind of an approach helps you in, you know, helping your team or helping yourself, more importantly. And this attitude will be liked by the management as well. There are a lot of people to blame, to think about the problem, but there are very less people who think about the solution. At least display that mindset. And those people will be called as leaders. Yeah. Well, I think we are at the top of the hour. Thank you so much. It was a lovely, filling and value-adding discussion. We will share the materials with you. And thank you, Dimitri, for your valuable opinions. And we'll see you all in the next session. Have a nice evening.
Really, thank you, Dimitri, Madhuri, for very insightful sessions. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thanks a
folks.
lot.
Thank you, Santosh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye, Madhuri. Bye, Dimitri.
Bye-bye.
Everyone. Bye.